Right, so I've had quite a lot of people actually request that I do a Riot Shield, either montage or game or something like that. I've also had some people asking me to do a full tournament breakdown with some commentary, so I thought, you know what? Why not just combine the two? We'll use Riot Shield, try and get a ranked tournament win, and then I'm just going to kind of commentate, explain my thinking, you know, what's going on in my head, and break down the logic that I use while using the Riot Shield. Took me a while to kind of get the hang of it. I think this weapon's actually pretty sweet. I kind of struggle with, like, in a lot of situations, knowing how to play it. So I'm definitely going to make a lot of mistakes. So if you guys are Riot Shield mains, I'm sure you guys are going to have tons of things to comment saying, hey, you're not supposed to do this. What are you doing here? You're making really dumb decisions. But I tried my best. Okay, I don't even have, like, level 2 Riot Shield. So this was definitely a big learning curve. I used it actually, like, a decent amount early on, but then eventually just found, you know, I just love clicking ahead, so why not just do that? So yeah, bear with me as I explain some of my logic here. I decided to bring in the Guardian turret and some frag grenades. That way I could have a bit of range damage since I was kind of lacking there. You know, being that it's a Riot Shield and I don't have too much mobility. I also brought the zip line. I found the zip line would be a really good one over the jump pad because for the most part I want to be on ground level. I don't want to be like way up in the air where people can kind of see my backside or whatever. So that's why I brought in that, and then obviously defib. So my first kind of thought is that I'm just going to double this up. Hotel is actually a pretty easy one to hold if you can get there first. So I thought, you know what, if I get there at the same time, maybe I can do something here. So I'm just throwing nades for the range damage. I'm baiting it by just quickly stealing just so that I could pull him a little bit closer, knowing that he's relatively weak. Again, I see a grenade launcher, so I get right up in his face. Now I have one of them really low, one of them dead, and now they know about the Guardian turret. So I set up a new Guardian placement turret, throw some nades so that I can just kind of stall again, and then go for the steal. I'm still waiting on my teammates to kind of catch up, but they did actually die early on, so they're a little behind. And I get the steal, and now it's just about surviving. One thing that I'm trying to do here is, like, I'm going to keep repositioning my turret once they figure out where it is so that I can put it in a different spot. And especially now that I actually own the cash out, it's really easy to just put it in like an off angle like this so that they'll have to kind of turn around when they go for it, make it a little bit easier for us to win that. Yeah, and then next you can see my teammate, that's the heavy, is kind of in there in the fight. I'm just playing above, waiting for anybody to hop up so I can kill them. Waiting for my grenades to go off because that is, again, my only ability to range. And I see that they drop it here, so I get a little bit worried now that I can't hold my high ground. I should honestly be repositioning my turret right away, but I thought, you know what, I don't know where they are. I'm just going to kind of look down and then reposition it once the cooldown's off. Reposition it here. Realistically, I probably should have placed it on the east side of this hole so that it looks over it, especially if it gets dropped again. But I was thinking, you know what, they're probably going to go through these stairs, so I'm just going to be, you know, setting up, getting ready for that. As you can see, the entire team is still kind of playing from below, like the purple team here. Now that they drop it, I know that they're going to go for a steal. They don't have much more time, so I just go in for the whack. Luckily we get some poison off, and that one is a pretty easy hold. Now I do want to quickly explain. So I was actually on vacation a while ago, and I got sick on vacation. I was going there to visit my one friend and also go snowboarding. I got sick the night after the first time I went snowboarding, so that really sucked. I was kind of pushing through the next time that I went snowboarding, like really trying to, like, you know, survive, push through it. And yeah, so I'm still sick. It's been like 12 days or something. Went to the doctor, said he told me I have a viral infection and it's supposed to last like 7 to 10 days. But I think because I was just so weak and I kind of kept pushing my luck by going snowboarding and going out trying to, like, enjoy my holiday, I think I just kind of, like, delayed it. I didn't give my body the proper rest that it needed. So that's why my voice is a little raspy. And I'm sorry for that, but at least I'm good enough to kind of do some commentary now. Anyway, so yeah, we noticed that the vault spawned right after there. We got the double cash out, so we're doing pretty good. And so we're just bringing the next one over here to B. Now I know there's a lot of logic in, like, you know, do you want to double it up? Do you want to split it? My thought is that, oh yeah, also quick little tip, if you have the Riot Shield, you can actually walk over mines and they don't blow up. So cool little trick. So yeah, as I was explaining, you can double it up, you can split them off, you can kind of do whatever. There's a lot of different like choices. I do find that if you get the first double, you're going to be, you know, between 20 to like 30,000 typically. I actually think it's a little bit smarter to split it up and then stall the 5 and 6, because if you split it up, there is no way that you are going to be losing that first place, because it's only 15. Doubling it up, that means you have a risk of being second place, which means it's a little bit easier to end up in third or fourth place. So I think splitting it up makes a little bit more sense, but I understand there's so many different logics. There's so many different like reasons why you might do one thing or the other. So just kind of take that with a grain of salt. Again, using my frags here for range, we are actually running a kind of a bit of a silly comp. We have multiple turrets, so we set up the turrets in a similar spot. That's just a really nice spot. I call out that this enemy is weak so my teammate can finish him off. And I'm just kind of playing close to the point. I got a little unlucky there that the red barrel actually blew up on me and did enough damage to kill me. But yeah, I'm just trying to play very close to the point so I can play around my close range, you know, turret and shield. But yeah, so we have like the APS turret, and then we have the regular turret. So my teammate has the APS. I got the regular turret. He also has like heal, and then we have a mesh shield. So yeah, the double turret I think is a really nice little setup to set them up kind of close to each other. They can kind of defend each other in a way, which is really nice. So you'll notice here our red team actually is down a man, and then another one actually disconnected, so there are only one player on the moment at red. So we kind of knew that this was going to be a bit of a free game, and now that we had the split, we got the nice 50-50 fight, we won it, and now we are basically just guaranteed. It's going to be like impossible unless we completely throw. So again, yeah, just throwing nades as range, trying to get in there. As you can see, I was hoping the APS would be on me. It's a little bit behind me, so I was actually just dead to the grenade launchers here. And we just don't have time here, but I thought I'd just try for this deal anyway. Yeah, and then we wipe purple, again, just to set him back, and it also puts us in a position now where we can think about who we want to bring through. Since we're doing so well, we can really have control over this match. We can kind of just look and be like, who would we want to bring through? Who would be either, you know, an easy challenge or, you know, something that'd be fun to face off against. Red is kind of a joke, so we're not really too worried about them. And honestly, we weren't really finding too many people here were like that challenging. There was like the triple CL40 team, which was kind of annoying to deal with. But the only threat that I kind of saw in that was just the fact that they are a full team of 3. So as you can see here, we're pinging to go to the other vault, bring them together. That way, you know, they don't get split up. We can have a nice little one vault that goes in if we do want to control it. We're kind of just making that decision now. You know, do we just finish this game and like stall it, or do we like actually try to make this vault go in so that we have a fight between multiple different teams? So we decided to make the jump here. I messed up that jump. I could have made that a lot better, but I thought, you know what, my teammates are dying, let me just throw it off and just try to hold it. We're gonna just try and finish the game here if we can. So decision was kind of changed after my teammates died, and we're just trying to hold it. So now I just need to chase down this person here. It's a little difficult, obviously, a dash light versus a Riot Shield. Luckily, he chokes a little bit on his movement and was not able to get there fast enough, and we qualify. So between rounds, I usually like to check the score here and see what I'm facing. So as you can see, there are no heavies that I'm facing. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to stick with frag grenade. Not going to bring in the APS turret or gas mine or anything like that, because with all the heals, they're going to heal right through the gas mine. The APS turret isn't going to do much to stop the heavies that are non-existent. So there was the one team that I mentioned that has the triple heal with a grenade launcher in each person's hand, so that could have been a reason to bring another APS, but my one teammate actually is bringing APS for that counter, so I'm not really too worried about it. So first things first, we are deciding what vault to go to. We go to 1, as this is just closer. Typically I just pick whatever's closer. You're less likely to face 2 teams and you only have the 1 team. And I noticed that they get vault 1 right away. So first things first is just to take high ground, because there's no point in trying to fight for that 1,000 since it's already taken. And then we can approach from the top down and then go from there. Now, as a Riot Shield player, I definitely want to be really close to them and just kind of start the fight. So I notice them all there, and then I just get absolutely obliterated by the, triple CL40 team. And my teammate also gets taken out by them, so we were like, oh shit, like this is actually pretty oppressive, especially since he threw that green barrel at me. There was just nothing I could really do. It's a pretty hard counter to the Riot Shield, the CL40, which I also thought was a pretty fun thing to throw into this gameplay here, as you get to see a pretty hard counter. Alright, and so now we are skipping ahead a little bit. So we got my one teammate, Dior, going off. He is destroying the entire pink team. I decided to put it in because I know we've won this fight. Even if he dies, I know that we're just going to finish this fight off. So I thought I'd put it in early, get that timer rolling. So pink gets wiped. You can see that. We noticed that B is right beside us, so we're just going to go and hold A. Our logic here is we just need to kind of stay alive, stay near it. I'm going to start looking for gas canisters that I can put at the back here. So if you put it at the back, the way that the gas works is it actually stays in the air as this kind of traverses around the map. So the platform basically, if you pop the gas at the back, the gas will eventually kind of go through the entire platform. So I always like putting some gas at the back there and then playing around that. So you can see a light just killed my teammate there. I decided to revive him, and then instantly he drops down. I'm just going to play around my turret here and throw some nades, and then I notice, oh, he just fell off the map. I guess that's what you guys are probably complaining about most of the time when you get these random lights. It's probably that random light. So sorry for anybody who gets those. I decided to do a little juke on him. I jump down one way. He runs around that way. Doesn't expect me from behind. Easy kill with the Riot Shield here. So now here we're just trying to play around the point, not play on the point specifically unless you are a heavy. My teammate actually was already on it. He has the APS, so he's feeling pretty confident around the APS. I also have the turret set up for him, so I decided I don't really need to be there. Even though I am a melee, I find it's actually just really nice to just not really play on the point regardless. I do have nades that I can quickly throw at it, and I can just quickly jump onto it to counter them. But I find just sitting on it makes you a sitting duck. So this is what I was talking about again with the gas here. So I just throw it so that I can kind of prime it, get the timer going. Then that way around the time that the cash out would be really needed to be defended, it will pop. Or at least in theory it should pop. So as you see, purple is near there. Yeah, there, and it pops. And then right around the time that I would need to defend it, it is there. Unfortunately there is fire and it removes it, but it doesn't matter because they didn't make it there in time. And yeah, super hard counter. Just heal the person that is having to deal with the Riot Shield. Pretty unfortunate. You can see there I did 252. So I actually did enough to kill him, but because of the healer, I was unable to kill him. So unfortunate. Luckily, we did get that cash out though, so now we are pushing to get the cash out D. As you can see, everybody seems to be fighting off of the point. Nobody's fighting on the point, which is like a perfect time for me to just come in and get the little steal here. I didn't actually know that they were off it until I threw that nade and then clued in, so I kind of did waste the nade and I hit myself, but it's all good. I set up a zip line again so that I can play off point. Now, realistically, I probably should have set up the turret here, but I'm not really too used to playing with turrets and not really used to playing Riot Shield in general, so I'm just using a lot of the logic that I typically use. So around here is where I kind of clue in, oh shit, wait, I still have my turret. let me go quickly hop down there and place it at a nice little angle that will be less likely to be shot off the point and more like once they hop on the point, they're probably gonna have to deal with it. So yeah, again, I just get off it and try to hold the crane and building beside the cash out. I start getting shot at. My teammate is getting some kills, but I'm just going to be focused on the objective here. Yeah, tried to get that kill, then realized he just jumped down to get his teammate. I threw a nade, but he ends up getting healed. So it was really unfortunate. Then I realized, oh crap, these are the CL40 people. They're just going to obliterate me. The goo canister here actually like knocks off the cash out, so no, it's no longer on the platform. Pink actually takes a second to clue in. I did get kind of screwed over because again, the triple CL40 is such a hard counter to the Riot Shield, but again, it was a fun little thing to deal with. You know, dealing with one of its hardest counters was a fun little change of pace. So now you can see here, we are kind of cluing in that like, oh shit, like there is only 2.5 minutes left. We are third place. Luckily, orange just dies, so now we are second place. So now our thought is, okay, well, we just want to tap the vault so that we can get the extra 1,000, keep our lead. And then from here, it's about like, if they put it in to C, then we will put it into B. And then we'll have 2 vaults that go off. Ours is going to be worth 22,000, so it's going to be the more game determining one. Whereas in theory, if purple actually is the one who can kind of get the 15, they won't actually have enough to pass pink, so they'd end up in third place depending on wherever this goes. So we decide, you know what, everybody just spawned up, everybody's going to be at the other cash out. We can just slap this in here, don't have to extend the timer too much, and we can just kind of play for this W here. So as per my usual logic, find high ground around the moving platform, don't play on the platform. As you can see here, my teammate is able to pick up a new kill on purple. So this is really good. We're in a fantastic spot here. We don't have too much long left of the game. There is one player that is dead on purple, and pink is also going to be at the other side of the map. So in theory, there might be 2 other players on purple and potentially a full orange, but we haven't seen orange, so we have to just assume that they're fighting around hospital. So I'm really struggling to hit him here. Luckily, my teammate comes in with the clutch RPG to save my ass. And from here, I'm just going to look for some gas canisters so that I can kind of do that gas trick I was talking about before. And then I'm going to start playing off point, just enough that I can kind of jump on it. Realistically, when it gets closer to the end of your cash out, you want to be closer to it. You can play a little bit further off when it's earlier on because you can get those steals, and you can play for a really safe place to get the kill. So that's kind of where my logic is. Like, I want to be close to it, but I don't want to be so far away from it because we don't have too much time. So now I'm just kind of looking for if anybody's rotating off of C, if any other orange players are here, just kind of getting ready for when it rotates around this building because the timer should extend from that 6 seconds to a little bit longer. As you can see there, yeah, so it goes to 21. I put it in the same spot that I had last time. Unfortunately, I die here, and I am freaking out because I'm like, oh crap, there's still time. All they have to do is start it at 6 seconds, and they can steal it. And then I see my teammate's health. One of them's dead. The other one gets stuck, and I'm like, oh god. Oh no, he falls off. And then luckily, nobody's on it. So we got pretty damn lucky. You can see Pink is just shooting a bunch of grenade launchers across the map at us. But yeah, that was a pretty intense round 2. Pretty lucky to get by. Alright, so as we go into the round 3, I'm looking at the teams again, seeing that there's not too many heavies. There's actually 3 heavies. I'm really surprised by this. Typically you want to run like medium heavy heavy as like one of the best compositions, or heavy heavy medium. Medium medium heavy. But I'm not seeing it. So again, I'm like, alright, well, I will just stick with my current loadout. I don't really need to swap out anything. And let's just try and get this win here. So first things first, we look at which vault's closest, and we can see that they're actually very close. But I can see that B, which is hospital, is in play. Hospital is one of the easiest, like across the board, easiest cash outs. All maps, everything like that map, that is just like a free win. So we're like, yes, we definitely want to play for B. I know that they're going to be spawning close by. So I start pre-nading, throwing my turret down, getting ready for everybody to kind of be spawning here. Get the easy 2 kills. The last guy's really low. Strafes is able to finish that guy off. So now we have a very free, easy take to B. And you can see that the other 2 teams are fighting over the other cash out. So they're going to be bringing that to A. And this is going to be free. So first things first, we want to take out this bridge, and then we want to take out the crane. And then from there, it's pretty easy to hold. You'll see where we actually go to set up for the spawn kill. There is a very common spawn. So if this cash out is active and there's no other active cash outs, there's a very, very good chance that people are either going to spawn on this island if you're not blocking it correctly. However, it's kind of unlikely, especially if you're standing on like the roof and spread out a little bit. You can stand on that one edge and you're pretty much covering it. If not, they're most likely going to spawn in front where Dior is going right now. So he's going over to set up a C4 to get prepared. I'm bringing a gas canister over just to kind of put it at where it is. So you can see this is where they were most likely spawn, but this is very dependent on a lot of other factors, but it is a pretty well-known common spawn when you are holding the cash out at hospital. Typically, if there's a cash out in play, the spawns are actually going to be a lot closer to you, closer to the cash out, and there's specific ones. So we can see that orange is dead. So our thought is that they're most likely going to spawn there. So we're kind of getting ready for that right now. And as you see, they cash out for for A actually gets active just before orange was about to spawn. So I was actually a little bit confused at first. Then I noticed, oh, the other cash out's active. So because of that, they actually got a different spawn. So if the other people actually waited a second, we would have been able to get that quick little spawn kill there. But that's all good. We also noticed, okay, well, our cash out is about to finish. Cash out A is now active. Everybody spawned over there. We know nobody got a close spawn, so we are completely safe to just leave B behind and go and fight for A. So now that we're third partying, we want to kind of play it slow. I'm looking for information here, trying to figure out where everybody is. So we can see that somebody just jumped off the map. There's 2 purples that are going up on cranes. So I'm going to throw a nade up there, and then I'm going to tap this to try and like bait them out. Unfortunately, it was the grenade launcher from pink that was right beside me, and makes it very difficult for me to do my job as a Riot Shield player. So now that we've respawned, we notice there's probably not enough time to steal it, but there are a low amount of players. So we're just going to go in and just try to frag out, kill a bunch of people, hopefully get some wipes here. But we're also going to try and steal if we can. So as you can see, my Riot Shield blocks basically an entire clip and a bit, and we're able to steal that last second. So this was not really the plan going in. We just thought, okay, they're low. Let's try and like wipe them, get some gold deficit on theirs. And we were able to clutch this steal. I was actually hella impressed that the Riot Shield was able to tank so much like that. I usually don't have that good of luck when using it, but that is definitely one of the extreme pros of having it, is you can kind of play like the heavy mesh shield role, but you know, you basically have like an infinite amount. So like an infinite amount of health per se. So very cool. Was nice to get that clip in there. All right, so we decided to bring it up to D, as I find this is a really easy one to hold. So hotel and anywhere around construction tends to be pretty easy to hold. You'll probably notice tons of turrets being set up around this spot. I'm not going to be a fool and say that it's not one of the best spots for holding this, so I decided to just kind of follow that trend. We started dancing around on this because it was just really weird to see the crane that was like knocked over here. So yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? You put a bunch of boys around a big crane. We're gonna play with the toys. So we got a relatively free hold, and you can see here right around like 25% left, purple starts coming up. So again, I use my range tool of a grenade and start throwing it around the point. I got a little bit of damage, and then I just kind of, you know, send it in there, try to do as much damage, to be as disruptive as I can, try to stop them. So that's all I really need to do, is just make sure that they don't get the steal. So it's just about stalling time there. It doesn't matter if you live or die, as long as you're rushing that point, you're probably going to be doing the right thing. And if you all die before it, that's kind of known as a tactical wipe. So it's really smart to just kind of push and be aggressive. Don't give them any chance to try and steal it from you. So now that we're basically kind of guaranteed, we're thinking, okay, well, Pink is kind of annoying with the grenade launchers. They seem to be the most organized team that we've had to face in this ranked tournament. So how about we try to be a little bit annoying, try to stop them. If we can kind of kill them and then just run away, let somebody else steal it, that would be ideal. That way we can face a little bit of an easier team in the final round. So that's kind of our logic here. We're going here. When you're doing this, it's really important to just stay alive, right? Like, realistically, you're not going to have that much of a lead. So yeah, I see an opportunity to separate them with the goo canister. So I separate them so I can start taking some 1v1s. All of us are getting a little bit of separated fights. I suicide, but it was all for a good cause. We got the kill. Purple's annoying me, so I just quickly wipe him while my teammate heals me, and our teammate steals, and then we realize, okay, wait, Pink's dead. Let's just run away. There's 2 left on purple. Let's just let them steal. They have quite a bit. I notice I get stuck in here. I beg for somebody to release me, and then we clue in. Oh, they're not even going for it. Purple had 1 dude that went for us, and they didn't really play for it. They went for the other vault. And even with us stealing, it wasn't enough to kind of wipe out Pink. So we go into this thinking, okay, we got to deal with 3 CL40s. So realistically, we should probably double up on the APS turret and not bring the frag grenade is kind of our logic. And so I was also thinking there's a potential that they all swap off CL40. Because when I bring it in, I only bring it in for the knockout rounds. And then I swap it out for an FCAR, an AK, something like that for the final round. So I was saying maybe they're going to do that here. And my teammates said, no, they're going to stick with the CL40. And I'm like, all right, well, like, let's bring in the APS here and just have a hard counter and hopefully have a good final round. So we realized that we're spawning at mall, which means that they're going to be spawning around the hospital. So we know that we're going to be the first one to this specific cash out, and we can just kind of sit there and defend. So logically, they're going to go up to A and hold from a high ground, which is central. As you can see, that is exactly what they did. So I'm just knocking away all of their entries to us. I decide to put in an APS and a goo so that I can have a bit of cover here. And as you can see, they're shooting at us, so that means they swapped off of the CL40s. I kind of called it. So we're at a little bit of a disadvantage knowing, oh crap, okay, well, we have APS turrets versus not CL40s, which is exactly what we were expecting. And they have the high ground right now, so they're in a pretty good position. They kind of juked us out with that. And we got to play a little bit smarter around here because we don't have those grenades that would be very clutch for getting at range. So I noticed they're all at the top of A, and I call, let's just go B. Let's just start running B now. We might be able to beat them. We got, zip lines. And as you can see here, they actually start jumping down. Boom, right there. He's on the roof. So we're kind of neck and neck with them right now. And I know I have a zip line, so fail grab. I have to come back and grab it. Yeah, and now they actually have that inch of a lead here, and now we got to fight them. They get a first pick, which is really bad for us. We get the tie, and so now it's just about setting up for a win. So Dior just went in there. He's a heavy with a mesh shield, so I'm confident that he's going to last quite a while in this fight. I'm just going to go for the res, and I throw a poison, very nicely timed poison here. And the other one's getting hit by the turret. Turret is popping off. I get the kill here. We know there's one left. We know exactly where he went. And so I'm just chasing him down. He gets the res. Yeah, I know triple defib can be annoying, but when they're just kind of running around and defibbing and not actually shooting at you, it's really not that big of a threat. It's about applying tons of pressure once you get that first kill because they're going to be all running around with their defib and not actually fighting. So now here we're actually waiting out the time. So once they respawn, they will respawn at the furthest spawn from where your team is in the final round. So they are going to be spawning at mall since we are at hospital, and then we put it in. If we had thrown it in earlier, that we would have got that spawn that we had talked about earlier, that is just kind of in front of the other side of hospital, on the other side of the big bridge. So now we're looking to take out Crane and to take out the small bridge. I decide to throw it down an APS for this corner in case they have any grenades, or if there's another throwable or something that we need to be concerned about. I just like throwing it there because we can watch over, but we do know that they're coming from far away, so we know exactly where they're going to be funneled into. I set up a turret just in case they set up zip lines, or if they go up that zip line, that will kind of defend. As you can see, they set up the zip line here. We start knocking it down. We don't want them up here with us. Get him out of here. I decided to pick up the turret knowing that those zip lines are gone. This guy is alone, and so we instantly go for that kill. He should not have pushed alone. He should have pushed with his team, but we take advantage of that. And now I'm going to set up a turret. And again, in these moments, you don't want to get too greedy. Like, we got that one kill there, but I think it's important that we don't kind of get too aggressive. So we both set up our APS turrets up here. We decided to just kind of start getting ready for a defense. We just need to stall time a little bit longer. There's about a third of ours left. So I'm standing here so that I can see if they come from below me. One of my teammates is over at the stairs, and the other one's kind of roaming around looking to get any initial picks. And we're just waiting for them to pop up here. We have really good defense up here. And so this is where I mess up a little bit. So I was not used to the pull on the Riot Shield, so it actually kind of pulled me into the fight there. And then I was like, oh shit, like I should not have died. I'm like throwing right now. And yeah, so this is not good. There is enough time for them to steal if they're on it. The turret does a little bit of work, and then boom, big clutch from my heavy. I'm not even too sure if they had enough time. I think they had to deal with my turret, which actually stalled them a little bit. But yeah, we got that clutch save in. Definitely made some mistakes there. I should not have even pushed for the fight, knowing in hindsight. But again, I'm just kind of learning Riot Shield. I haven't even unlocked the yellow skin for it yet, so I'm definitely new to it. But I thought, you know, I'm just going to apply some pressure, probably stay alive. As you can see, I got hit by all three of them there, died pretty quickly, so you are not invincible with the Riot Shield. But I could have just applied pressure once they backed off, just ran back, and I probably would have been fine. But yeah, like I said, the Riot Shield kind of pulls you towards targets, so it kind of pulled me towards the one target. Then I swung again and it pulled me off the stairs. Definitely a bit of like a learning curve in terms of decision making and how the movement works for it. So we notice it's at 2. We know that they're going to beat us to it because we just died, and we decide let's just start holding the top construction here along with top hotel. And I'm just staying alive, getting some info from my team, seeing where everybody is, and we just need to make sure that we stay alive. We don't really need to push here. We don't need to make the move. We are actually in a pretty good defensive positioning here. So it's more just about, you know, waiting it out, making sure that we make the right decision at the right moment. So unfortunately, I noticed my teammate Dior go in there. He gets a kill, so I just try to follow up and help out. Mess up that kill. He gets the finish there. I try to go for the defib. Mess up there, and I'm just thinking like this is not really the fight. Like, I understand getting a pick and wanting to go off of it, but I don't think we really need to. We're in a defensive position because we actually have the first cash out. We'll win if they do nothing, so they have to be the ones to do something. So it's better to just kind of hold a point and play a lot more passive. But again, it was just my instinct. All right, well, my teammate's going in, I need to just follow it up. Even if it's the wrong play, it's really important to play as a team. You don't want to be too selfish and be like, oh, well, I know what the right play is, so I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. It's really important to just play with your team, whether it is the right or wrong decision. You guys can decide after if it's the wrong decision, but just disagreeing with your team and going a different way is a really easy way to just lose games. Because sometimes you'll make the wrong decision, but you'll get the right outcome simply because you actually played as a team. So I used a zipline. They broke the zipline, so they probably didn't expect me to come up this way. I drop my shield, and he gets a perfect hit with the model. Absolutely destroys me. GG to him. And then, yeah, so Dior's in there. He's doing some damage. We just need to follow up, get some damage with him. As you notice, we just get the wipe here. And this is going to be a pretty easy steal because they're all dead. And then from here, we're going to want to start thinking about putting some either green or some orange canisters or even red canisters around the cash out. As you see here, I turn the turret so that I can get a nice little cheeky angle on it. They're most likely not going to be checking that. And yeah, we really should be putting more canisters around it. I put the APS so that they can't throw any dome shield on it in order to get some sort of clutch save or clutch steal, sorry. And so now we're just kind of looking around, trying to figure out where they spawn so that we can kind of get prepared for them jumping up. And there it gets pinged. We know where they're coming from. So I back off, play with my team, and try to play in a position that's going to be a little bit easier to defend from. So I'm thinking I'm on the angle for my team. I'm melee, so I just need to wait for them to start tapping it. Again, go in, get some picks. And I just need to stall here. It's all about time at this point. I don't need to get too greedy with trying to get kills. It's all about, like, if I play my life, they can't steal it. And boom, we're able to succeed. It was a really fun tournament to face basically my hardest counter, which was like all the CL40s, and still end up winning. They did actually bait us out at the end, so we were at a disadvantage. So across the board, we were pretty much at a disadvantage this game, but we were able to clutch it. We played really smart. We did a lot of intelligent decisions instead of just kind of like aping for kills. We made the right plays around a lot of the cash outs, came in at the right moments. And I hope my logic was explained quite well. I'll try and do some more breakdowns because I think there's a lot of like macro play and a lot of decision making that doesn't really show through in a lot of montages, and I think that's probably what you guys are looking for. So hopefully I can do some more of those, and if there's any requests you guys have for, like, you know, I want to see heavy gameplay or light gameplay, or I want to see your decision making around this or that, just let me know, and in future videos I will try to get that to you. I think a light logic video would probably be pretty good, like just explaining the reason why I do this or that when it comes to playing light would be very useful, I think, because I notice a lot of like lights that I get as like random solo queue players have no idea what they're doing. They make horrible decisions, and I think it's a very different play style. And I think a lot of people look at it and be like, this is like really hard to play. I don't think playing light is hard. It's just different, and you can't apply the same logic that you would typically apply for medium or heavy. So maybe that is, if you guys have interest in that, let me know, and I will see you in the finals.
From me, bitch.